Okay, what is happening here?
Where are we?
Glix, give us a situation report.
Currently, we are on the planet Geekery. Be warned, our impossibility drive may cause distortions as we traverse this land. Impending impossibility engaging in 3,
Oh, gosh.
2,
Oh, dear.
1.
Welcome to Comm Talk, the podcast extension of Geek Devotions, a show from couple devoted geeks who are devoted to let people know that they are loved. I'm Dallas, and with me is
Celeste!
And in case you can't tell, the audio is a little bit different. If you were listening to the show on Friday's episode of Geek Devotions, you know that part of the reason why things are going to be a little different is because our laptop's getting repaired. But the other part is this. We are doing a road trip episode, kind of stealing from our friends over at Strangers and Aliens. But we are leaving currently Shreveport, Bossier City, SBC's Anime Festival.
We are trying to leave the parking lot. It's a little bit of a winding parking lot.
And so we're just going to kind of talk about some of the stuff we saw and the things we liked and enjoyed. And yeah, that's basically what this podcast episode's all about. So, Celeste, what did you like about this particular thing?
I liked all the cosplays.
Yeah,
Like, there was some really good cosplay.
I think so.
So even, like, we saw a guy who was cosplaying as Captain Hughes from FMA.
Full Metal Alchemist, for those of you who are not in the know.
Not in the know. Hello, Mr. Truck. And so, like, I feel like this guy did not have to try too hard. Like,
He looked like Hughes.
like, even if he didn't have the stuff on, he would look like Hughes. I think my favorite, though, was the guy who was cosplaying as Master Roshi and didn't know it. He didn't know it because he was Master Roshi.
We had to explain that for our listeners.
He looked like him. Like, there was this older gentleman, and he had this really long beard. And so, you know how when you're at a con, like, all of a sudden, like, people will clear to get around you, and then there's someone standing right in front of you, and you kind of have to go, oh, I'm sorry, and dodge around them.
Right.
Like, I feel like that's any big crowd, though.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that, and I looked up, and I was like, oh, that's him.
That's Master Roshi.
That's Master Roshi.
But not on purpose.
But not on purpose. I was like, oh my gosh, he's cosplaying and doesn't even know it.
That awkward moment. Oh, man, that was pretty cool, though.
What about you?
So as far as cosplaying, there were a lot of really, really great ones. Hughes is probably the one that stands out the most because it was just really pretty neat to meet him.
That and we chased him down. Like, we kept seeing him and then not being able to catch up with him. And then when we finally caught up with him, we were like, oh my god, we've got you.
Yeah, he's still alive. I appreciated the guy who was playing
Spoilers.
Speed Racer, actually. So, like, he was walking around with a friend who was dressed up as the Black Panther.
Yeah.
Which was a cool, legit Black Panther costume. But I kind of feel bad for him because, like, he's cosplaying as a classic anime character. And, like, everyone's, like, kind of ignoring him.
Well, it's because he's walking around with Black Panther.
Right, exactly. So,
who's really popular right now.
but also a pretty cool cosplay of Speed Racer. So I like that.
I think that guy could also cosplay as one of the newer Voltron lions.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Yes.
Yeah. So another thing I liked, we had gone to one of the panels, which was the history of magic girls.
Magical girls.
Right, magical princesses. And
not princesses. It was just girls.
so we went to the thing for it, and it was a cool little panel discussion about the history of them and everything. And you had your mainstays, like you had like Sailor Moon, Sakura, Cardcaptor,
Sailor Moon.
a couple others, and there's some others that were like that I never heard of. I thought it was pretty cool. But what I enjoyed the most about it was I looked over and there was this little girl, and she was dressed up herself as one of these magical princesses.
Aww.
And like as they're talking about it, she is elated. Like her mouth is wide open to smile. She is locked into these two girls who are giving this presentation. Like this is something that she is passionate about and was really enjoying. And so I appreciated that moment. The panel was cool. I mean, it was neat. But I appreciated seeing this unlocking for this little girl.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I like about these cons that we go to, and like Anime Con especially, because it seems like those of us in the anime community that we seem to be the outcast of the outcasts sometimes.
To an extent, yeah.
And some of it we bring upon ourselves because some people are like, well, fine, and we just go wild. But this little girl, you could tell that she really connected with these series. And so hearing the history of something that she loves so much, and it just bringing her so much joy, that's what I enjoy about these cons, is we have those moments where we speak the language and we're seeing something, we're hearing about stuff that we connect with, we relate to, that nobody else really talks about or shuns at times.
Well, and like I said when we first walked in to you, I forget because we only go to GeekCon once a year.
Right.
And so I forget that what it's like being in a group of people who know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, I'm not as big into anime as you are. I haven't seen as much, I haven't been exposed to as much. So there's a lot of things that like I kind of recognize.
Right.
But I'm like, I don't remember what that is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when I did recognize something, like we just started watching Inuyasha, and I was like, oh my god, somebody's cosplayed as Inuyasha.
Right.
And somebody just said sit boy, and that poor girl just threw herself on the ground.
That was great.
I wish we'd gotten that on camera.
I appreciated that. I almost went up to her to talk to the girl and interview her, but we didn't get a chance to. So
we passed them at one point, and they looked very young.
Yeah.
So I did not, at that point, stop.
Yeah.
Because I was like, they're at that age, we need a parent.
Yeah, it's like there are rules and regulations we have to follow.
There's things that we personally just put in place of,
Right.
if you're that young, we're talking to your mom and dad to make sure they're okay with you being on camera.
Right. So there's also, I appreciated there was this lady who, she was there with her family, and she was dressed up as Kenshin.
Yes.
From Ronin Kenshin. And
amazing cosplay.
We in our episode for Tuesday's Extra Tuesday, by the way, is a recap of this con. And excuse me while I'm trying not to die while I drive.
The merging abilities in Shreveport Bossier are not the best.
Merging locations.
Merging locations.
Yeah.
Are not the best.
But anyways, but we're asking everybody. We're taking a poll. Who would win in a fight? Green Ranger or Naruto? And we're asking that question because Jason David Frank is there, and one of the voice actors from Naruto's there. I can't talk right now, guys. I'm so thirsty.
Normally you say it better than I do.
Right. So, but anyways, there was this lady, we stopped to talk to her, and she's dressed up as Kenshin. And so we stopped and asked her. I was like, well, hey, can we ask her? She's like, sure. Can I have my son give me an answer though? And we're like, okay. So she calls her son over. And I wasn't really sure who his cosplays as.
I think he is Cat Noir from Cat Noir and Ladybug.
Oh, okay.
That Netflix show.
Gotcha. And so...
it may not be Ladybug,
he's
but
like,
you know what I mean.
Right, but he's feeding the answer to his mom. And she didn't like his answer. But I appreciate that it was really a family thing. Like, you could see the connections of all the stuff going between the families.
And then there was a younger brother who was also dressed up. I don't know what he was dressed up as. But again, he was so young and he showed no interest. I was like, he's on that line.
Yeah. So, again, that's part of the reason why I love these cons. And the ones here in Shreveport, they're really good about making sure things are always family friendly, keeping things appropriate. There's a few booths here and there that are inappropriate, and they keep those booths together and put to the side. And I say put to the side, they're put in a location, but they're put together so that parents can go, you know what, we're going to walk this way.
Yeah. And so that if you are wanting that, you know where to go. Right.
So I really do appreciate GeekCon and SBC Anime Fest for doing that. They're trying their best to keep it family friendly, but understanding that there's culture, there's people that are into other things or maybe a little more mature. Not everything has to be super kiddie. So it was pretty cool. I enjoyed the atmosphere of it.
Yeah. Now this is the first year we have gone to this con, partially because of when it is. We're usually pretty busy in the summer, and by the time this time comes around, we're dead.
Oh yeah, we're swamped.
So it's just some things have changed, and so we're not as swamped this year. We're just, our general swamped rather than our extra general swamped. So I appreciated that, and then we made an effort because Jason David Frank was going to be there to make sure we were going this year. So it was definitely interesting. I'm curious as to how it's grown.
Right.
Because, we've noticed that with GeekCon. Every con is a little bit different because they learn things.
Right.
They learn from experience. Okay, this area likes this area likes that. And I know that the company itself does many cons. They do another anime one in Arkansas. They do the Louisiana Comic Con down in New Orleans. They call it the Cajun Con.
Yeah. Is it the same company?
It is.
Oh, okay.
It is the exact same company.
The more you know.
They're the ones that when they came this year, they went to the Hirsch Coliseum on the fairgrounds for their regular Louisiana Con.
Right.
So I appreciate that the company itself seems to have taken in some things that were issues in the beginning and learned from it.
Right. Absolutely. So it's pretty cool. We like it. If you guys were at the SBC Anime Fest, let us know your thoughts on it. Hope you enjoyed it. The Extra Tuesday episode will be up Tuesday morning. I'm going to try to bang that out as quickly as possible. Because of the way we did it, it's going to be a little different. Let us know the format, how you like the format of that episode, because we may be using that format for the GeekCon video later.
Yes. Now, that was something I did notice. There was not as many cosplays.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if it's that the cosplayers are being smart and waiting until the end of the day to go.
Because the cosplay competition is
It's at the end, yeah. It's not for another couple hours.
Right.
So it may be that they just had not everybody had come in the beginning of the day.
Right.
So, but overall, I liked it. It was good.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I like to encourage other people to go check it out. At their local anime festivals and their local geek conventions and stuff. Not every con is San Diego Comic-Con, which is going on right now as we talk, as we record this podcast. Not every con is WizardCon. They're all, some of them are really small. And if we support these things, your community, your geek community will grow. There'll be more things that are attainable, because it's hard to find stuff.
Yeah.
We're walking around and there's a lot of cool stuff that they had there, and Celeste and I are like, I wish we had more money.
I got a really cool lunchbox, guys, for my snacks when I go to work, because I take a lot of snacks to work because I try to eat about every 4 hours.
Yeah.
So now I have a really nice lunchbox that has Totoro on it.
So there's several things like I know for me, like, we're walking around, there are a couple of movies and DVDs I was looking for that just didn't have.
Yeah.
But all the places here in town that have anime, or used to have anime, don't really anymore.
No, not really. It's kind of hard to find.
Yeah, and so support your local geek culture. Support your local geek shops if you can. But most importantly, have fun,
Support your local geek.
Exactly. I do. So, all right. So you got something.
Yes.
That you were really excited about it. Tell them about that real quick. A little more detail about it. What was it?
Oh, the lunchbox?
Yeah. It's
a little lunchbox, and it's like a bag, and it has Totoro on it, which I was telling you, I don't have any, well, now I do, but I don't have any Totoro stuff because it's kind of hard to find where it's not super
expensive.
Pricey. Yeah, like normally the Totoro stuff in town is like the figurines and this super expensive set of chopsticks that's like $20 for a set of chopsticks, and you're like, they're chopsticks that I'm never going to use. So we don't have a lot of practical geek stuff in town.
Right.
But it's wider at a base, so a lot of the general lunchboxes you can fit like a sandwich in. This thing, you can fit a Tupperware. I actually think it was probably meant to put one of those bento boxes the guy was selling.
Probably.
They were selling these bento boxes, and like it didn't have anything. At first I thought it had food in it. I was like, look, we could get lunch. But but it like comes apart, and it has chopsticks in the top that stick in, and it's all this like it's
cutesy anime
character
designs.
Type things, nothing specific that I know of. I mean, it could be that they are specific somewhere, because I just realized that there's an anime about an egg recently. But So, I mean, it could be specific, but it's not anything I know. But it's very nice. The guy said that they're very good about keeping things hot, keeping things cold, depending on what you put in there.
Right.
So I'm pretty excited about that because, like I said, I try to eat about every 4 hours.
Right.
And that requires me to bring snacks.
Yeah. And you got a couple cool buttons.
I did. I got, again, apparently today was Totoro Day. I got a Totoro button and one of the little Totoros. All buttons to go on my backpack.
Yep.
Because I have a backpack full of buttons.
You do. And I got myself a little button that says, I love geeks.
Yes.
And I'm pretty excited about that.
I was actually tempted to get 2 of those.
Oh, yeah?
Because you and I's bags are different.
Oh, true story.
So, but then I was like, well, no, I don't want a copy. And I want the 2 Totoros.
Right. I understand.
So.
All right, cool beans. Well, guys, I think that's pretty much what I have to say about Anime Festival. Celeste, you got anything you want to add about it?
It was a lot of fun. We got to love on some good people.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And we did. It was really neat hanging out with people and loving on them. So
it's always good.
There were a couple people from the Devoted Geek Life that were there.
Yeah.
We'll give a quick shout out to them. We have Branson Boykin.
Woohoo!
We had Noah, which if you don't know Noah, he's a really cool guy in our Devoted Geek community.
He posted up that he was in line for Jason David Frank.
He
we were
was.
like, yay, we have to go find him.
Yeah, so we actually left one of the panels we were in to go say hi real briefly to him. And Noah, I meant to try to catch up with you, man, after the line was done to see Jason David Frank, because that was a huge line, and you had left before I could catch up with you, man. So to you and to your cousin, hi.
Hello.
Hello. So we wanted to get a picture with you and Branson, but we just didn't get a chance to, man. So maybe next time.
We did some good friend service. We saw a friend whose child was tired of standing in line waiting for the Green Ranger.
Yep.
And we went and took his debit card and got a stuffed animal and brought the debit card and the animal back.
That's it. That's it. Guys, don't forget, next week is our Devoted Geek Together at CC Coffee House on LB Road in front of the Kroger. We're super excited about it. So Noah, come hang out, man. And anybody else who's in the Shreveport Bossier area, if you want to come hang out with us, you're more than welcome to. It's going to be at 10 a.m. That's 10 in the morning, Central Standard Time at CC's Coffee House in Shreveport, Louisiana. So, all right. Well, that's it. Make sure you guys check out all of our stuff. Also, do us a favor, go to iTunes and leave a comment there, kind of talking about what our stuff is, and subscribe to us. Don't forget, you can, if you're listening to us on YouTube, you can find us also on Google Play and on iTunes and Stitcher, I think.
Yeah, we're on Stitcher.
So, all right. Well, that's about it, guys, for our road trip.
Woohoo! So, stay devoted.
Peace and love.